He called me young, but useless. After 3 years of marriage, my CEO husband never once truly valued me, until I took everything back. In the 3rd year of my marriage to Kevin Park, he was 35 and I was 21. He told me to stay home and be a full-time wife, yet he still complained to his friends, "Monica is good for nothing except being young. She's nowhere near as sexy or mature as my secretary." I'm starting to regret getting married. Keeping a little girl costs so little, but getting divorced now would be such a huge loss. During my senior year internship, just because I wanted to see my handsome husband a few more times every day, I chose to intern at Kevin Park's company. I was only a low-level intern, so I kept an extremely low profile, so low that even Kevin didn't know I was there. I didn't want to cause him trouble or distract him. Sometimes when the other interns talked about Kevin, I listened quietly, but never joined in. President Park is so handsome. 35 really is a man's golden age. Too bad he's married. And he married some unknown little girl. Why couldn't I have that kind of luck? When I was 18, Kevin told me on the very first day he started pursuing me that he was dating me for marriage. He even gave me a wedding ring right then. I responded with the same passion. We got our marriage certificate after a year of dating. Reckless, sweet, blessed. A CEO's love is overwhelming. It drowns you completely until you can't tell east from west. If I hadn't come to his company for this internship, I might never have discovered his secrets. Emma White, Kevin's secretary, beautiful, sexy, the perfect mature woman. She accompanied him on business trips, to social events, handled everything. In some ways, she even understood the company better than Kevin. Before people discovered Kevin was married, everyone in the company assumed Emma was the real lady boss. Whenever I ate in the cafeteria, I overheard the senior employees, people who had worked beside Emma for years, complaining. President Park really has bad taste. A gorgeous woman like Emma is right beside him, and he doesn't cherish her. Emma quit a high-paying executive job in a listed company to be his secretary. When the passion fades, President Park will definitely get divorced and choose Emma. There were so many rumors, but I never paid attention. After all, Kevin and I still had passion every night. Until the business dinner. Emma got drunk and confessed to Kevin in front of everyone. Actually, it wasn't a confession, it was forcing him to choose. She asked if he had her in his heart. Kevin stayed silent for a long time. She asked again, "If I'm not in your heart, then why won't you approve my resignation?" Kevin's expression darkened. Then he answered with just one word, "You are." Then he looked at her with deep emotion. "I do have you in my heart. I can't live without you. That's why I can't approve your resignation. Is that okay?" Emma smiled, downed a glass of strong liquor, took her bag, and walked out. The room froze. Then Kevin went after her. I wasn't there that night, but a chubby girl who liked gossip recorded the whole scene and secretly sent it to me. She asked, "Do you think something's going to happen tonight between President Park and Secretary White?" I replied with confidence, "Probably not, right?" She pushed. "They're adults. They've known each other for years. Their feelings run deep. Plus, they drank. Plus, that confession. Are you sure nothing will happen?" I typed firmly, "President Park is married. He should know his boundaries, and Secretary White shouldn't have any reason to be a homewrecker." "You're right, too, but whether something happened or not, we'll know tomorrow." I didn't understand what she meant by that, but the moment I closed the chat window, I got the answer. Kevin messaged me. He wasn't coming home tonight. Something came up at dinner. My heart trembled. I called him immediately. No one picked up at first. After several calls, he finally answered. Baby, my phone was on silent. I didn't hear it. What's wrong? I held back my emotions so tightly that my nails dug into my palms. Honey, you really won't be coming home tonight. It's a gathering. Everyone's here. I can't get away. Baby, just understand, okay? I clenched my teeth and asked, "Are there any women at your gathering?" He paused, then chuckled. "No. Since when did you start doing spot checks too? Want to video chat so I can prove my innocence?" While he spoke, I heard something. A faint rustling. The crisp sound of expensive dress shirts rubbing against hotel bed sheets. Back when we were madly in love, I heard that sound often. And then, a muffled groan. And in that moment, everything inside me shattered. After 3 years with Kevin, I knew that sound. It was the sound he made at the peak of pleasure, a tiny detail he never realized. I didn't even need to catch him cheating. He gave himself away. I let out a bitter laugh. "No need for video. I'm afraid I'll go blind. You have your fun. I'm going to sleep." My heart was dead. Before I hung up, his voice came again, buried under faint noises. "Baby, we closed a huge deal tonight. Starting tomorrow, everyone's going to work overtime. I'll be late every day. Don't wait for me for dinner." Work overtime like crazy? Or accompany Emma like crazy? To me, there was no difference. I didn't sleep at all. The next morning, with dark circles under my eyes, I went to the company. My mind was blank when the chubby girl rushed over, eager to gossip. Something definitely happened last night between President Park and Secretary White. I raised my brows slightly. This morning, President Park's clothes were wrinkled and he was wearing yesterday's outfit. Doesn't that prove he didn't go home? I nodded, too tired to praise her sharpness. She continued. Secretary White was late too, and she came in glowing. Normally she's sharp and decisive, but today she's like a whole new woman. "A whole new woman?" I asked. She thought carefully. "Brighter, sexier, fluttery. If you don't believe me, look yourself." I looked up. Emma was wearing a tight, body-hugging dress. I recognized that dress. Kevin and I had gone shopping together. I liked it, but they didn't have my size, so we pre-ordered it and told the clerk to send it to Kevin. It had arrived. The recipient had changed. Emma was in great spirits. She asked everyone what they wanted to drink, her treat. Everyone cheered. I sat in the corner, my heart a swirl of bitterness. I tried to drown myself in work. It didn't work. I drifted until noon, eating my takeout at my desk. Emma walked past carrying several exquisite dishes, straight into Kevin's office. She stayed there all afternoon. When she came out, it was almost time to get off work. Beside me, the chubby girl tisked. Morals are really slipping. Of all the men Emma could go for, she picked a married one. Tim, who sat closer to the president's office, added, "The moment she went in, she threw herself into President Park Farms. They almost turned the office into a hotel." Then the chubby girl sent me pictures Tim secretly took. Emma sat on Kevin's lap, feeding him. Their posture, their expressions, painfully intimate. I don't know how sad President's wife would be if she saw this, the chubby girl sighed. Manager Jones, sitting across from us, frowned. If they're fond of each other, what's it to you? She didn't catch his meaning and joked. True, she really is the concubine. Manager Jones got annoyed, grabbed an audit ledger, and threw it to her. If you're so idle, finish this. You're not leaving until you're done. She deflated. I quietly messaged her. Manager Jones and Secretary White have known each other for years. He's on her side. Don't say things like that anymore. She replied with a crying emoji. I comforted her. I'll help you with the ledger. Let's finish quickly and get off work. I'll buy you crayfish.
She perked up immediately. That evening, when we finally finished the overtime task and were about to leave for crayfish, Manager Jones stopped us again. "Thanks for working late. Let's go have supper together." He didn't let us refuse. He took us straight to a nearby restaurant. After eating, he dragged us to KTV. We didn't want to go, but as interns, we had no say. We sat in the dark corner and just played Honor of Kings together. We were so into it that we didn't even notice more and more people coming into the private room, until I heard a very familiar voice. Then I saw Kevin, surrounded by the company big shots, taking the main seat. At first, they talked about projects. Later, they started talking about their private lives, kids, wives, in-laws, and of course, lovers. I saw Emma's Moments post. "May lovers finally become family."
It's not like that. Emma doesn't mind. So why should that little girl mind? Kevin spoiled her for years. If you make that little girl go back to an ordinary life, no way she can take it. Even if she finds out about the flag outside, she definitely won't act rashly. At least she's got the Mrs. Park title. At least she's well fed and clothed. She still gets to be above others. Everyone chimed in like that, and in the end, their conclusion was, as long as Kevin can keep Emma from making a scene, the one at home won't be able to do anything. They even raised their glasses to congratulate Kevin on having both in his arms. The chubby girl listened with her face all scrunched up. She whispered in my ear, "Ugh, gross." Then she added, "Even though President Park is being really trashy, what they said isn't completely wrong. That little girl hasn't even graduated, right? No family background, no ability. If she makes a fuss, it really won't do her any good. Don't you think so?" I nodded. There won't be a scene. People are civilized these days. Everything can be talked about calmly. Divorce, too. Just then, Kevin put his glass down and said, "Yeah, Monica is good for nothing except being young. Compared to Emma, she's more cultivated. But with that proud temper of Emma's, I don't know how long she can put up with it. I'm starting to regret getting married. Keeping a little girl costs so little. Getting divorced now would be too big a loss." So that's what he was calculating. Loss. Of course, Kevin and I are legally married. If we divorce, we split the marital assets. Then let it be as Kevin wishes. I can walk away with nothing. But the price of me walking away with nothing, he will have to pay too. When everyone dispersed, Emma came to pick up Kevin, who reeked of alcohol. From a distance, I watched the two of them hold each other mouth to mouth. Maybe they had held back for too long. The moment they got in the car started rocking up and down. I silently recorded everything I had just seen. Then, I called my brother. "Hey, little girl, what are you up to? How come you've got time to call me this late?" My brother's voice touched the softest place in my heart. Instantly, I couldn't hold it in. The tears started falling uncontrollably. "Hey, what's wrong? Are you crying?" I was so choked up, I couldn't speak. My brother immediately asked where I was. I told him the address, muddled, unclear. Half an hour later, he was standing in front of me. I was curled up on the steps by the street, my body trembling. My brother took off his jacket and wrapped it around me, sitting quietly at my side. "Where's Kevin?" "He cheated." My brother froze, his jaw tightening. "Where is he? I'll go kill him." I grabbed his hand and shook my head. "No need, that would only dirty your hands." My brother stomped hard on the ground, furious, but he was still not done venting. "So, you're getting divorced?" I nodded without a hesitation. "Is there any chance it's a misunderstanding?" I showed him all the videos and photos I had saved on my phone. I didn't say much, but my brother had already made up his mind. He immediately made a few calls, one to a lawyer friend to draft a divorce agreement for me, another to suppliers connected to Kevin, telling them, "Contracts newly negotiated but not signed, don't sign. Contracts about to expire, don't renew.
Contracts not yet due, withdraw the discounts, trade at market price. When he was done, my brother took my hand. Come on, let's go home. I shook my head, tears still hanging at the corners of my eyes. Before we go home, I want to move out first. My brother didn't hesitate and drove straight to the marital house Kevin and I shared. The house was bought by Kevin. I didn't feel much attachment to it, but I had lived there for 3 years. I really hadn't expected to leave this way. If you want this house, I'll get the best lawyer to help you win it, my brother said. No need, bro. Anything that's got Kevin's name on it just feels dirty to me right now. After moving out, I wanted to wait for Kevin to contact me first so I could confront him. But unfortunately, a week went by and he still didn't notice I'd moved out. He just sent me his usual daily message. Working late tonight, don't wait for me. But in reality, every day I saw him and Emma together. Because the chubby girl had called Emma a concubine, she kept getting targeted by the department manager. She was overloaded with work. I couldn't bear to watch her shoulder it alone, so I worked overtime with her. When we worked really late, we could hear indulgent, sultry sounds coming from the president's office. The chubby girl complained, "President Park is so stingy. He doesn't even want to pay for a hotel." I gave a bitter smile. Maybe doing it in the office feels more atmospheric. Sometimes when I walked by, I still couldn't help recording a few explicit videos and keeping them on my phone. I just had a feeling these things would come in handy later. After working hard and finishing the internship period, the chubby girl said she wanted to stay. It's hard to find a job out there. Even though I kinda hate President Park, people still have to eat. I wished her the best. Then she asked if I wanted to stay. I told her I just wanted my internship certificate and leave this place of right and wrong as soon as possible. I didn't expect that at the very last moment, I would be stabbed in the back by a friend. I became the only intern in the whole batch who didn't meet the standard. I was unconvinced and asked the department head why. The head only said it was Secretary White's decision. I thought Emma had found out who I was and was targeting me on purpose. But unexpectedly, the chubby girl came to me and confessed on her own. That day when I said Secretary White was a concubine, I don't know who heard it, but the words got out. These days we kept working overtime. It wasn't Manager Jones assigning it. It was Secretary White targeting us. I was dead for sure, but because you kept working overtime with me, The chubby girl burst into tears. I really need this job. I'm not as pretty as you, and I'm not as smart as you. So I went to Secretary White and put the blame on you for calling her a concubine. I thought she would just not consider keeping you on. I didn't expect her to not even issue your internship certificate. I'm sorry. I laughed, fully from anger. I was a little angry at my friend's betrayal, but even angrier at Emma for throwing her weight around and using her position for personal revenge. Okay, I forgive you. Don't cry. Thank you for being such a good friend to me these days. I wish you a bright future. After that, I took the file I had prepared long ago and was ready to leave. The chubby girl grabbed me, her face full of hope. What about the matter with Secretary White? I said calmly, Don't worry. I'll take it. Then I lifted my head and shouted to the whole office, Yes, Emma is a concubine. What? We can't even say that? In an instant, everyone stopped what they were doing and looked at me. Their eyes were filled with shock. Holding the not up to standard internship report, I walked straight into the meeting room. At that moment, all the senior executives and the department heads were having their morning meeting. My arrival was completely out of place. The executives all frowned, mildly disgusted by this little intern who didn't know her place. Of course, I had been married to Kevin for 3 years. Not one of his company knew what Mrs. Park looked like. Not even Emma. In that room, only Kevin had a flicker of surprise in his eyes when he saw me, but he didn't speak. The first to speak was Emma, the meeting host. She lifted her chin, her beautiful, mature face full of disdain and impatience. "What is it that you had to say right now?" I didn't bother with politeness. "Secretary White, did you target me and refuse to issue my internship certificate just because I said you were President Park's concubine?" Everyone in the room was startled and turned to look at Emma. Her expression stiffened. She'd clearly not expected an intern to be so bold. She narrowed her eyes. "Since you already know, what are you doing in here asking?" There was no point denying it. The company was already full of rumors. If she wanted to silence everyone, she needed a scapegoat. And in her eyes, I was that scapegoat. I met Emma's sharp gaze and raised my voice. "Secretary White, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have called you President Park's concubine." A murmur rippled through the office. Emma stiffened, embarrassment flickering across her face, but she quickly folded her arms and lifted her chin. "It's too late to apologize now," she declared arrogantly. I turned toward Kevin. His face was dark, clearly displeased. But why? Wasn't he the one who discarded our marriage first? I let out a cold laugh. "It's not too late. I can clarify things right now." I pushed the conference room door open and raised my voice even higher.
Kevin tried to defend himself. "I handed everything to Emma. I didn't know she—" I cut him off. I played a video on my phone and slid it toward him. In the video, Emma held onto a chubby man in his 50s as they entered a hotel. The man's hands were all over her. Kevin's face turned pitch black. "You recognize him, right?" I asked softly. "A supplier from Kent Corp. Emma truly loves you. She did all this for you. I could never go that far, so cherish her." Leaving the hall, I hadn't even reached home before my brother called. "As soon as you left, Kevin left too." Emma chased after him. They fought. He pushed her to the ground. No mercy at all. "Good thing you're done with him." I asked, "Bro, how long can his company survive?" "A month or two, maybe a year. Depends on luck. Kevin is capable, but terrible at judging people. Emma and the old group at his company will eat him alive." He was right. Later, I met the chubby girl from school. She looked exhausted. She apologized for her past behavior. I accepted her apology, but kept my distance. She updated me on Kevin's downfall. Quote, "His company declared bankruptcy." Quote, "The board dumped all debts on him." Quote, "They had secretly leaked company info to a rival before fleeing." Quote, "Emma was beaten by angry wives and broke multiple bones." Quote, "She tried to force Kevin to marry her. He refused." Quote, "He publicly posted her hotel video online." Quote, "They fought so violently they smashed the office desk." Quote, "Emma quit." Quote, "Kevin took over her projects but failed." Quote, "Employees were laid off with no severance." Quote, "I gave her a business card and told her someone would help her find a job. She was grateful." 3 months later, Kevin and I met to collect the divorce certificate. He arrived in a suit, holding flowers, eyes full of tears. He apologized, begged, said he loved me, wanted another chance. I didn't even look at him. If he had contacted me once during the cooling period, maybe I would have thought about our past. But he never did. He was proud, too proud, and assumed I couldn't leave him. Now that Emma left and his world collapsed, suddenly he regretted everything. It was pathetic. I handed him a business card. "This is my best friend's number. Her father is in the provincial construction procurement department. She's 18 and wants a considerate boyfriend. You fit her standards. Give it a try." Kevin's eyes lit up. "Do you think she'd mind that I'm older?" I laughed. His face instantly darkened. Just one tiny test, and he failed. And he dared to say he only loved me in this life? So fake. He didn't even hide his real purpose for coming today. "No, I mean, do you still mind everything? I want us to get back together. Let's not get divorced, okay?" "Kevin, I do mind.
I answered bluntly, leaving him no room to continue pretending he was deeply in love with me. I even added kindly, "Think positively. Let's finalize the divorce first. If you coax me well later, I might introduce you to some of my girlfriends in the circle. They're a bit older, but they're great in bed, and if they dress up properly, they're even presentable." His face flushed. Whether from anger or shame, I didn't care. It was clear. There was no future left for us. After we collected the divorce certificate, Kevin still followed me, asking endless questions about the girl on the business card. I made everything up. Then I pretended I was in a rush and told him to contact her himself. The moment I got into my car, my phone rang. Kevin was raging. "Monica, what kind of number did you give me? I called and they asked if I wanted half service or full service. What does 300 for once, 800 for a night mean?" I paused a beat. "Oh, so it was that kind of card. Someone must have stuck it on my car window and I just pulled it off and gave it to you." Then I comforted him sweetly. "Hey, don't be mad. If you get angry, you'll age faster. In our rich lady circle, we like men who are mature and charming, but not men who look old." He cursed me out. I hung up and blocked all his contact information. After graduation, I had to choose, take over the family business or study abroad. After thinking it over, I chose to go abroad. Playing around was much more appealing to me. The business world and all its exhausting games, those were my brother and sister-in-law's battlefield now, not mine. At the airport, waiting for my flight, I unexpectedly ran into Emma. She wore a mask, clinging to the arm of a 70-year-old grandpa, calling him baby. When she saw me, she actually had the nerve to come over. She asked if I knew how Kevin was doing. I told her. She smirked. So he really followed that stupid advice and forced himself into the rich lady circle. I told him if he'd just marry me and live steadily, he might have had a chance to rebuild. But that trash said I was poor and insisted on licking rich women. She slipped her sunglasses back on. "Honestly, you should thank me. If it weren't for me ruining him early, who knows how long that scumbag would have dragged you down." Then she left. I raised an eyebrow. On my phone, the video of Kevin doing a strip dance in front of my girlfriends was still playing. Tisk tisk, what a dog. I texted the girls' group chat. $1,000 per drink. Please do me a favor, play him to death. The next few years abroad were free care. I almost forgot everything that happened back home. Then, one night, a friend took me to a bar. On stage, dancing on a pole, was Kevin. For a moment, I thought I was imagining. Since he was someone I once knew, I glanced at him a few more times while drinking. I saw girls throwing cash at him. I saw him shamelessly begging rich young women for money. And I thought, I was truly blind back then. After paying, my friend and I headed out. At the door, Kevin was shouting for customers when someone splashed a drink on him. He bent all the way down, apologizing humbly. Then, he lifted his head and noticed me. "Monica," he breathed. I curled my lips, pulled out some change from my bag, and handed it to him. His body froze. I got into my car. In the mirror, he was still standing there, unmoving. That pair of eyes, once full of arrogance and shine, were now completely dull. I didn't know what he was thinking, and I didn't care anymore.
Of course, Secretary White is not President Park's concubine. Even in ancient times, a concubine needed a formal ceremony and had to salute the legal wife first. Someone without betrothal gifts is just an outside mistress, not even qualified to enter the ancestral hall. Gasps spread across the room. Emma's face turned white, then green. People finally understood who I was. So did she. Their eyes all shifted to Kevin. For the first time in our 1-year dating plus 3 years of marriage, I saw Kevin truly angry. "Have you made enough of a scene?" he snapped. "How could it be enough? I wanted to keep my dignity, but you wouldn't let me. I don't want anything else. I just want my internship certificate."
Kevin's chest rose and fell. He tried to calm himself and said, "Whether your internship is approved is up to your supervisor. This has nothing to do with Emma." Emma straightened up instantly, regaining confidence. "Yes, I'm only President Park's secretary. I can't make decisions about interns. Fake. Both of them." I smiled bitterly. Everyone knew the company belonged to Kevin. Whether my certificate was issued or not depended entirely on him, but he wouldn't protect me, not even a little. He only cared about Emma. Fine. Then what if I trade a divorce agreement for it? I said calmly. The room went silent. I placed the signed agreement on the table. I walk away with nothing. In exchange, I get my internship certificate. Emma and Kevin's expressions instantly changed. To outsiders, giving up billions willingly was shocking. Directors in the room perked up with interest. Why wouldn't they be happy? Without me, Emma could cling to Kevin's wealth more securely. Emma tried to leave, but Kevin held her hand. "Stay. We have nothing to hide." Nothing to hide. The words were a knife. Their fingers intertwined right in front of me. Even though I had prepared myself, the sight still stabbed deeply. I took a deep breath and pushed the document toward them. Kevin didn't even look at it. He passed it straight to Emma. "See if we can sign it." Emma read it slowly, savoring every word, a smile creeping onto her lips. She really is walking away with nothing. We can sign. She handed the pen to Kevin. He didn't take it immediately. He looked at me. "Are you sure you want a divorce?" "What else? Do I look like a trash can to you?" "Think it through," he warned coldly. "A divorced woman won't find a high-quality man." Emma flinched at his harshness, but I laughed. Someone who can't even issue me an internship certificate is not someone I need forgiving me. Before she could reply, I continued. "Fine. Treat me as the villain. Treat me as the woman ruining your little romance. I don't care. I only want what I earned, my internship certificate." Emma's eyes reddened. Kevin finally signed. 2 copies, 1 for each of us. We agreed to collect the official divorce certificate after the 3-month cooling-off period. Kevin stamped my internship certificate and handed it over. I turned to leave, but then, "Monica," he called. "You were impulsive. I'll transfer you $20 million. Think of it as compensation." I didn't even look back. "Thanks. I'll consider that money the wedding gift for you and Emma. Don't complain it's too little." Emma's expression hardened. "Monica, $20 million is enough for you to live comfortably for life. Don't act pretentious." If I wanted comfort, I wouldn't be divorcing. Silence. Her face twisted. Kevin sighed. "Monica, you're too young. I spoiled you too much." I smiled faintly. "Exactly. I'm young. I can afford to start over. A divorce means nothing. I was only 21. My life was just beginning. Afterwards, my sister-in-law took me traveling to cheer me up. I slowly healed. If Kevin hadn't shown up at my house, I might have forgotten he existed. But one day, I saw him standing at our gate with gifts. My chest tightened. My sister whispered, "Emma kept begging your brother for business cooperation, but she never came here herself. Now Kevin's company seems to be in trouble, so he came personally. Do you want to let him in?" I shook my head. "No. My brother is not unreasonable. If Kevin offers better terms, he'll pick him. Otherwise, he won't." Kevin came again the next day. And the next. For a whole week, he waited outside our house. If he had come to win me back, maybe I really would have softened. But he only wanted business. Eventually, my brother's people explained why he wasn't chosen. Kevin accepted it and stopped coming. But fate is cruel. I saw him again at my brother's company product lunch. I was eating quietly when someone shoved me and my drink spilled onto a society lady's dress. Before I could speak, a familiar voice rang out. "That dress is expensive. She won't be able to pay for it." "Emma." I apologized quickly. "Miss Linda, how much was the dress? I'll compensate." But Emma cut in with exaggerated pity. It's a haute couture limited edition, over 100,000. Can you afford it? Linda frowned, pulled me behind her, and glared at Emma. Miss White, I saw you push her. Don't blame the girl, and don't pretend to be righteous. The crowd stared. Emma stiffened. She didn't expect to humiliate herself. Linda continued coldly. I know you're clinging to a man whose company is about to collapse, so don't act like you're above anyone. Emma trembled, speechless, and behind her mask of pride, I could finally see it. Fear. The downfall she always wished upon me was coming for her instead. Emma bit her lip. After being scolded twice by Ms. Linda, her eyes turned red. The commotion grew, and soon my brother walked over. What's going on? He asked. Before I could answer, Ms. Linda explained everything in one sentence. My brother's eyes narrowed at Emma. Apologize, he ordered. Everyone knew Emma needed something from my brother. She didn't dare show attitude now. She forced out a stiff, unwilling sorry. But she was still bitter. My brother had rejected her completely. So she added sharply, President Cooker, the girl beside you is second-hand goods. I wonder if Mrs. Cooker knows you fool around like this. My brother laughed coldly. If you're so brave, go tell my wife yourself and see what she says. People around us snickered and walked away. After that, I stayed beside my brother, eating and drinking calmly so no one else dared approach me. Emma, shaken by my brother, tried to talk to other business partners, but everyone avoided her. It looked like they had all silently agreed. No one even accepted her business card. Some tossed it on the floor. It was probably the most humiliating day of Emma's career. Then Kevin arrived. Emma, eyes red, rushed to him to complain. He comforted her for a long time and then walked towards me. My brother raised his brows. Should I throw him out? I shook my head. No. I want to hear what he has to say. Bro, go do your thing. I'll call you if I need you. My brother understood. Anne stepped aside. Kevin sat up asked for me. His eyes still looked bright like before, but there was a tiredness he couldn't hide. Clearly his company was in trouble. Monica, long time no see, he said. He didn't know I had seen him waiting outside my house a week ago, but he thought he understood everything. This is your choice, he said. What choice? To be someone's mistress. So that was it. He misunderstood my relationship with my brother. I played along. He scoffed. You gave up being Mrs. Park just to be someone's lover? Is that fun? It's okay, I said casually. His tone hardened. Stop it. I'll pretend the divorce agreement never happened. Come back to me. You'll still be Mrs. Park. I laughed. What are you even talking about? I know you want revenge, but don't be childish. Trading your body for a man's temporary favor is meaningless. Henry Cooker won't divorce his wife for you. Don't waste your time attacking me through him. Henry Cooker, my brother. I silently waited. Kevin continued. During the time you left me, I didn't contact you because I wanted you to learn to be independent. I didn't think you'd go to extremes. That's my fault. But Emma carried the company on her shoulders. She signed 90% of our projects. I need her. You should understand, not do this petty thing. His tone sounded like an apology, but he clearly wanted both of us. I smiled slightly. You've misunderstood a few things. What things? I picked up a fruit fork and tapped it lightly on the plate. Those projects Emma signed, most of them came from Cooker Group, and the person who executed them was my brother, Henry Cooker. Kevin froze. How? You two don't even have the same last name. Our family is equal. My brother took my father's, saying, I took my mother's. Want proof? I can call my brother and sister-in-law right now. Kevin's face tightened. So Emma got those projects because of you, he whispered. I nodded. My brother supported his brother-in-law for my sake. Now that his sister is divorced, he has no reason to keep helping. Honestly, you made money, but you caused my brother's company a lot of trouble. Kevin's expression darkened. I continued.
You expanded blindly, ignored product quality, squeezed more profit from Cooker Group, all because my brother allowed it for my sake. If not for this divorce, you kept hurting his people.